Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Saturday, July 5th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Pittsburgh Pirates versus the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Saturday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, DHing today, Andrew McCutchen. And on the right, the best catcher in baseball, 35 homers and a lot more to come, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Pittsburgh Pirates. Leading off for the Pirates at first base, Spencer Horwitz. Batting second, DHing today for Pittsburgh, Andrew McCutchen. Batting third, playing right field, Brian Reynolds. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, second baseman, Nick Gonzalez. Batting fifth, playing center field, O'Neal Cruz. Batting sixth, playing third base, Key Brian Hayes. Batting seventh, playing left field, Tommy Pham. Batting eighth for the Pirates, catching today, Joey Bart. And batting ninth, playing shortstop, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And on the mound for the Pirates with a 1-2 record, an ERA of 4.15, it is Mike Burrows. And now let's get into the starting lineups for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, J.B. Crawford. Batting second, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting third, catching today for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Batting fifth, DHing today for Seattle, Jorge Polanco. Batting sixth, playing first base, Luke Raley. Batting seventh, playing right field, Dominic Canzone. Batting eighth, playing third base, Ben Williamson. And batting ninth, playing second base, Cole Young. And on the mound for the Mariners, it is a 4-5 record with an ERA of 3.55, La Piedra Luis Castillo. And we'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 100 or more overall, and obviously 100 on the donos on every single stream. A-Dog with the tenor. 90 more to go before we hit that goal. Great start. Appreciate you guys very much. I hope everyone had a fantastic 4th of July. Going up to the ballpark yesterday was incredible. One of the probably best experiences I've had in the 10 games that I've been to so far. Me and my best friend, we were looking for big dumper jerseys. They had a lot of mediums. They had a lot of larges. We had to go to the second store, but lo and behold, we decided to, cash in and get our first big dumper jerseys together. And we were rewarded with a 2-home run game by Cal Raleigh. Not only that, we got a Randy Arozarena home run. So he's homered in 5 straight games. And on top of that, with the sugar on top, we got Demo to end his drought and to go yard as well. Pretty freaking exciting stuff. 6-0 victory yesterday on the 4th of July. Again, it was a fantastic experience, and hopefully we'll be able to get the dub here today. And then we got a great one tomorrow, right? We got Paul Skeens versus George Kirby. Start will be at 1:10 Pacific. Can't wait to be able to see what happens in that one as well. But we're definitely focused on the win here today. Hope everyone had a great fourth. And man, I'm ready. And again, it was a pretty smooth car ride up. 3 hours flat to get there, 3 hours back. Game was pretty quick. The game ended roughly just over 2 hours, which was, normally we are typically seeing games go, 2 hours and 30 minutes and sometimes over 3 hours. But again, Brian Wu in person, me and my best friend have seen pretty much every pitcher on the Mariners staff, but we have not seen Brian Wu. And, even though Brian couldn't get to 10 Ks, even though he almost did, solid outing with 8 Ks. And, again, can't wait to be able to try to go back to the ballpark again, even though that might be, the only time that I get to go this year, since obviously I grind on this channel pretty much every day. And yeah, Iron, I mean, anytime that we try to win, we can't get any luck from the Stros. I mean, on the 4th of July, they went into Los Angeles and won 18-1. How the hell do you lose 18-1 in your own ballpark, and you're literally probably the best team in baseball at some point during the season, if not right now, on the Los Angeles Dodgers? But again, it shows you how good the Astros are. They haven't had Yordan Alvarez, almost all year. Pena just got hurt. Bregman is on the Red Sox. Tucker is on the Cubs. So it's really, Jose Altuve and a bunch of others. But again, I'm still confident that we can make the playoffs. And at some point, you have to feel that the Astros will slow down and hit a wall like we did. And then hopefully at that point, we can keep winning and find a way to get it done. Yeah, I mean, he tied it right now at 35. So, again, he is going to break the record. I don't know if he'll be able to get to 40 home runs and surpass Barry Bonds, who's number one. But everyone that's ahead of him, pretty much cheated, and did PEDs or steroids or something of that nature. But just to be able to put up something that is a tie with Ken Griffey Jr., and we know how good, Griffey is legacy-wise, it's unbelievable. First pitch. And that is a low ball one. Let's go, baby. Jacob in the building. What's good? 1-0 pitch, fouled off. 1-1 pitch in play and fouled out. 1 away. There we go, baby. I like that. Down goes Spencer Horwitz. 1 away. Next up, a Pittsburgh legend. DHing Andrew McCutchen. He may not be the same type of player he was years back, but still a staple, for the Pittsburgh Pirates. First pitch fouled off, high and inside. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Jacob, that's rough. 8 in a row. I mean, being a Mariner fan, we're familiar with going through losing streaks and going on skids like that as well. 0-1 pitch, high and away, four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour by La Piedra. 1 ball and 1 strike to Andrew McCutchen. 1-1 pitch, and back, and Julio is there, thankfully, and that is out number 2. McCutchen flies out to center, 2 away. Next up is right fielder Brian Reynolds. Let's go, Louise. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 likes within the first hour. We're shooting for 50 halfway through the broadcast, and then 100 likes or more will be the goal. And we're shooting for 100 on the donos as well. We're already at 10 for A-Dog. 90 more to go. Appreciate you. First pitch to Brian Reynolds from Castillo. Fouls it off right down the middle. 0-1 count. Now let's go, Louise. And it was nice to be able to see some defense at the ballpark yesterday. Julio ended up throwing out a runner that was trying to steal second. And then when we ended up getting the out, he threw it to first, got that out there. But what really set the tone for us, 0-1 pitch, high and inside, four-seam fastball misses, 1 ball and 1 strike to Brian Reynolds. 1-1 pitch, low and away, 2 balls and 1 strike to Brian Reynolds. It was when Randy Arozarena made that diving catch in the first inning. If he doesn't make that grab, we might end up of being down, 1-0 or 2-0. So that really kind of set the tone. And then when we ended up going up in the bottom of the first, Cal, with the exit velo and one of the longest homers that he's had in his career. And again, it was 3 rows from leaving the ballpark in the double deck. It was a double-decker home run, and it's awesome to be able to see Cal homer in person, not only doing it once, but doing it twice. Definitely a memory that I'll remember for the rest of my life. Pitch is outside. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Reynolds. And we definitely want to try to get ahead of the count with a couple first pitch strikes. But again, Castillo has been giving up quite a few homers, lately in his starts. I know as of a game or 2 back in the last 5 games, he had like 9 homers that he gave up. So hopefully if he does give up a couple, they'll just be solo jacks. And that way that, we can still maintain. Obviously winning 6-0 yesterday with Brian Wu was great. I highly doubt that will be a similar score here today. Should be a little bit more competitive with Castillo since he's not really on the Wu level at this point in his career. 3-2 pitch. And big swing and a miss. And down goes Brian Reynolds. And that is out number 3. Let's go, baby. Nice job by Luis Castillo. We like that strong start. We don't want you to give up homers or ribbies early. Nice job, La Piedra. Now let's get into the starting lineup here for the Mariners and see who's leading off here for Seattle. Leading off for the Mariners, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Batting second, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. And batting third, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. It's crazy, too, because when I was at the ballpark, and, obviously he hit that first one and the crowd went crazy and we were up 2-0. But when he went up later in the matchup, I said 35, right here, and he did it. It barely went over the wall. You had a defender, jump up and try to attempt to, snag that one. But again, Brian Wu has been a part of 3 multi-homer games of Cal's 7 so far. And he only needs a couple more to get into a category where he's going to have more than Mickey Mantle. And Mickey Mantle is probably considered the greatest, switch hitter. So, to be able to have 3 multi-homer games with Brian Wu, one on my birthday on May 2nd, I remember it, one at the end of the month, and then one at the game yesterday on the 4th of July. And again, the cool thing about Cal is that he's so good this year, he can hit them from the right side twice, the left side twice, or once from each side. And again, I don't think I've ever seen a player, play like this from the catching position. I've been able to, go over the history books with Yogi Berra and Johnny Bench, right? And then guys like Pudge Rodriguez, Mike Piazza, Buster Posey. But I have never seen anything like this, and I hope this is something that will be a regular occurrence for Big Dumper. It's really exciting. He should win the MVP, even though Judge more than likely will get it because it's a popularity contest. But if Cal wins the home run title, that might be the difference between him getting the MVP in the American League, or maybe they'll do a co-MVP, with Judge and Cal, even though Cal is probably the most deserving, and then Shohei will get it in the National League more than likely. All right, first pitch from Burrows to Cal. No, J.P. Crawford, and he swings, popped up, flied out to right, 1 away. Come on, J.P. We need you to be able to work the count a little bit more. We don't want to have a bunch of Julio Rodriguez at-bats where you swing at the first pitch and go out. But we'll see how aggressive we are here today. All right, batting second, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, Julio. Mike Burrows on the mound. And again, 1-2 record with an ERA of 4.15. So nothing too crazy to worry about. And hopefully we get the job done here. First pitch inside to Julio, 1-0 count. Pitch is high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes to Julio Rodriguez. 2-0 pitch, and he grounds out to first. 2 away. Little slow dribbler there by Julio. Hopefully he'll be able to get something on his second at bat. Next up, the best catcher in baseball, one of the best players in MLB in 2025, top 3 with Judge and Ohtani. Big dumper, Cal Raleigh. First pitch, fouled off, high and inside, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, high and away with the changeup. 87 miles an hour by Burrows. 1 ball and 1 strike here in the bottom of the first. 0-0. We're knotted up with 2 outs. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. High and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. We'll take singles. We'll take doubles. But we're really looking for one of these. One of those moon shots, baby, for home run number 36. And possibly 37. So most home runs by any player, before the All-Star break, whether they cheated or not, is Barry Bonds with 39. So I don't know if he'll get to that point, but that would be pretty amazing. And, right now Cal is pacing for 64 to 66 home runs. The most home runs by a catcher is Salvador Perez, 48. So, he's already at 35. And that's already beating his career high, which was 34. So again, I don't know if he's going to get to 60 to 70, home runs, but you best believe he definitely is going to get 50 to 59. It just depends on how hot he gets. And it would be awesome to see him get, more than 62, so that way he can break Judge's record. Pitch is outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Got a cool trucker hat as far as the giveaway. Today's giveaway is pretty cool. It's a J.P. Crawford basketball jersey. And a lot of times when they do crossover jerseys for a different sport, a lot of times it doesn't look that great. But the J.P. Basketball jersey, they actually did it very, very well. 3-2 pitch. And that is a walk. There we go, Cal. We'll take that. Let's go, baby. Cal the first with the walk there. 8-pitch walk. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. He's homered in 5 straight games. Can he do it again and make it 6? Let's go, Randy. First pitch, low and away with the slider. 87 miles an hour, 1-0 count. All day in the building. What's good? Man, what kind of memories, bro? Again, 6-0 win. Ended up, me and my buddy decided to, get, our very first Cal Raleigh jerseys. This would be the time to do it. But the problem was they didn't really have a lot of sizes available, so we were a little discouraged at first, when we went to the 2 team stores that were in the stadium. And luckily, the second location that we went to that had a little less selection actually had the sizes for both me and my best friend, and lo and behold, we both buy, Cal Raleigh jerseys, and then he hits 2 home runs. Coincidence? I don't know, but it was fucking awesome. And Randy homering, which was sweet, and Dylan Moore, getting off the schneid, pretty much being like 0 for 30 or 0 for 40, in a lot of his at-bats. I guess if you include walks, he's gotten walks, but he hasn't been productive, and for him to get off the schneid and Demo homering yesterday was pretty cool to see, considering he's really been in a suck fest for quite some time. 2-1 pitch, fouled off, 2 balls and 2 strikes from Burrows to Randy Arozarena. Ooh, Lake weekend, huh? Sounds fun. 2-2 pitch, and Randy strikes out looking. And that is out number 3. But I'll tell you what, the Cal jersey, it is very smooth, man. Let me tell you. And I've been wanting, a City Connect. And again, it's like, I got Julio's, I got Ken Griffey Jr.'s. I don't have any Randy Johnsons or Ichiro's or Edgar's yet, but pretty cool. And on top of that, after we ended up, getting the jerseys, and A-Dog, my boy, with the $10 holla for the beer. yesterday. I appreciate you very, very much. And it was kind of cool because if you end up spending a certain amount at the Mariners team store, they end up giving you like a gift, like a surprise gift. And then with that particular gift, it ended up being a game-used Mariner ball, but even better, it was going to be autographed by a random player. And we knew it wasn't going to be, Julio or Cal. It more than likely would be like a middle-tier player. But to get it for free, pretty cool. And so even though we weren't able to get a foul ball, there was none that were that close to either me or my buddy. And then we didn't get a hot dog from heaven. They kind of blew to the right. They dropped them down almost to us, but the wind carried them. But we didn't get any foul balls, unfortunately, and we didn't get any balls thrown into the crowd by JP after the inning ends. There was two that were maybe 3 rows away that were pretty close, but my buddy ended up getting a game-used Mitch Garver auto, ball, which is pretty cool, considering that was something that they didn't have to do. And the guy that we ended up having, he definitely could have just kept it quiet and not done that, but pretty cool. Garver has a good signature. It's not going to be a top guy, but to get like a $50 ball that's signed, that's game used, pretty cool as a freebie there. And, definitely a fun experience seeing Demo homer finally, getting off the schneid, getting the number 9. Hopefully he'll get number 10 sooner than later. Seeing Randy go for 5 homers in 5 games, longest stretch in his career. The longest before that was in the Tampa Bay Rays when he hit 3 in a row in that playoff series in 2020. And then obviously seeing Cal, go for 2 in person. It was unbelievable, let me tell you. 0-2 pitch, and Gonzalez strikes out looking. There we go, my boy. Nice job, La Piedra. 1 away. And I know Nick Gonzalez will try to get something going in his next at-bat. Next up, center fielder O'Neal Cruz. First pitch, high and away with the sinker. 1-0 count. Yeah, and again, I told him, it's not going to be Julio or Cal or, it's not going to be Logan Gilbert. It's like we kind of felt that it was going to be like, Garver, Solano, Canzone, like someone, like in the middle of the lineup probably and whatnot. But, to get an autograph ball that's game used for free, pretty cool. 1-0 pitch and play and grounds out to the pitcher, 2 away. So even though my friend technically, he got a ball, but it wasn't obviously from the game itself, and that'll still be something that I try to get for him, because, we're going to be going for, the rest of my life. We're going to be going once or twice a year. So, and hopefully next time around, next 4th of July or the next time I get it to go, hopefully I'll be able to get him one. But for the time being, I think he's pretty content. First pitch to Key Brian Hayes, grounds out to second, throw to first. And that was a very quick inning by the Mariners. But it was awesome to be able to see some, good defensive plays too. And I knew that when I saw Randy hustle and make that diving catch in left field to start the game, which could have prevented, the Mariners from winning 6-0. They could have got on the board in the first. I already knew it was going to be a special day. And then Cal, hitting that 2-run bomb early, in the matchup, and, seeing Julio play some pretty good defense, throwing that runner out that tried to steal second. We made the out. He threw it to first with a rocket, got that batter out. It's nice to be able to see like everything kind of come together. Wu was amazing. And I've never seen Wu before. I've seen everyone else. I've seen Castillo. I've seen Kirby. I've seen Gilbert. I've seen pretty much everyone on the staff. As far as, the main guys, obviously not Logan Evans yet because he's brand new, but there was definitely an aura, watching Wu yesterday, and it definitely was awesome to, get that on the bucket list. But hopefully we can win the matchup here today. And then we got a tough one tomorrow at 1:10 Pacific, Skeens versus Kirby. But I think that if the bats come alive, we can get it done. So all day in the building. What's good, Bubba? Appreciate you. Let's go, Ems. Go to the bottom of the second inning. 0-0 Pirates and Mariners. And what are we sitting on the likes right now? Obviously, we got goals that have been adjusted within the last month. So we want to try to hit 20 within the first hour, 50 at the halfway point, and then 100 or more. And we just hit past 20, so we did that. So congratulations, and shout out to everyone in the room with that support. We still have half of the people in the room that haven't done it yet. So if you could, it would be greatly appreciated. We're at 22. I obviously 8 more to go to get to 30, and we're going to try to get to a hundo before the stream ends. And we're at 10 on the dono train, 90 to go. First pitch from Burrows to Polo. Takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. And again, Burrows, 1-2 record with an ERA of 4.15. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. No balls and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. 0-2 pitch, low and away with the changeup, 87 miles an hour by Burrows. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. We're knotted up here early, 0-0 in the bottom of the second, FS1 global broadcast. Let's go, Polo. 1-2 pitch, low and away, misses the strike zone by a foot. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour by Burrows. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Two pitch, and Polo flies out to right. 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, first baseman Luke Raley. Let's go, Luke. Crazy thing at the game, obviously there's going to be a lot of, bandwagon, Skeens. Obviously a lot of people collect cards, and Skeens is a phenom, even though his record isn't very good, his ERA is. Doesn't get a whole lot of run support. But I didn't see one Skeens jersey at the stadium. And Raley bunting to third, go, go, go. And look at that. We actually get a bunt early in the game, and he's safe. I'm telling y'all, if you bunt, you got like an 80% chance to be safe if you drop it down correctly. This is going to turn out to be a very special game. Nice job, Luke. Bunting to third and hustling down to get that safe call at first. Next up, Dominic Canzone. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. Go, Dom. Oh, 1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dominic Canzone. Changeup misses by about a foot there by Burrows. Let's go, Dom. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss in the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Appreciate you all day. I love the bunts too. I love them. It just makes the game so much better. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and down goes Dominic Canzone. 2 away. Let's see if we can knock him in. Next up, third baseman Ben Williamson. And we're good with 2 outs. We're not one of those teams that is like, oh God, it's 2 outs, we're screwed. Like, we can go on a rally and score 1 to 5 runs with 2 outs. We've done it many times this year. You got Cole Young on deck, and then you got Ben, but Ben's got to be the first guy to continue the inning, and hopefully he will. And if there's a particular player that you want to be able to have me showcase for your $10 beer dono while I was at the game to kind of get it started, since I was at the game and wasn't able to live stream, let me know, and I got you. First pitch fouled off by Ben Williamson, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Takes a strike looking right down the middle, behind the count. No balls and 2 strikes from Burrows to Williamson. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the second inning, runner at first with 2 outs. 0-2 pitch, and Williamson grounds out into the fielder's choice to the shortstop, and that is out number 3. All right, a little bit of a slow start here, but again, kind of what I was expecting. You know, I didn't think that we were going to come out with a bang necessarily right out of the gates, but I know we'll be able to get on the board. Magic number, 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. You know, we're going to be able to get the dub and compete. But this might be a game where, you know, we might even be able to win with only 3 or 4 runs. But again, we want to shoot for the moon and see where we go from there. End of the second inning, 0-0 Pirates and Mariners. And then tomorrow we got Skeens versus Kirby. Really looking forward to that. But I'll tell you what, to have like my very first, you know, authentic Cal Raleigh jersey in the collection, you know, there was a little bit of nerves, you know, that we weren't going to be able to find, you know, the right size, because usually me and my buddy will just do like extra large. If you get large and then you wash it, you know, then it might shrink too much. And then obviously if you want to be able to wear it with like a hoodie, you know, you want to have a little bit of room, but you don't want it to be too big or too small. But you know, when we originally went down to the team store and there was like hundreds of people down there, I must have looked through 16 to like 20 Cal jerseys, and none, you know, they all were like smalls and mediums and mediums and larges. And I was like, dude, they don't have one extra large in this whole fucking store. And it was like a huge store inside the stadium, one of the biggest I've seen, and no double X's, you know, no size above large. And I'm thinking, okay, we're not gonna buy it unless we can find it. And then we go to the secondary store, and they have a rack of maybe 4 Cal Raleigh jerseys, and we're thinking there's no way that they're gonna have extra larges. But lo and behold, right, and the back too were extra larges, and I imagine all of the other sizes, you know, got sold out very quickly after we got them pregame. Had some good pizza and good food there as well. And just blessed that I was able to actually get it there. And Cal, and then, you know, hitting those 2 home runs in the game, to seeing that in person, you know, you can't put into words what it's like to see Cal homer. I mean, I've seen Aaron Judge homer, you know, in person there at T-Mobile. And when you hear the ball get smacked by the bat, it literally sounds like someone using an aluminum bat from like the 80s or 90s. It definitely sounds different when you hear, you know, someone like Ohtani or Judge or Cal this year, you know, crack a home run. And yeah, what a great day. Next up is Tommy Pham. 1-1 pitch, and Pham grounds out to the shortstop, throw to first. There we go, 1 away. Bo Jackson, I had a bunch of posters of him too as well. Next up is catcher Joey Bart. And I know Tommy Pham will try to get a hit later on in the matchup. First pitch from Castillo to Bart. Big swing and a miss. Low and away. 0-1 count. Castillo, 4-5 record with an ERA of 3.55. I mean, if there was a pitcher that we would trade to try to make room for Logan Evans, you know, it probably would be Castillo. I don't know if that's going to be something they'll do, you know, this year or next year. You know, and again, we do have a lot of injuries, so I highly doubt that Castillo will, you know, get traded this year. But again, it's like we're going to get to a point where we're going to have like 7 pitchers in only 5 spots. You know, and Evans is better than Hancock, but you still got Bryce Miller, you know, who will be coming back from the IL. And, you know, I would rather have Evans than Miller this year, but they may go back to Miller just because it's Miller and he's been there for a while, but we'll find out. 0-2 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Castillo to Joey Bart. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and another punch out there by La Piedra, 2 away. There we go. Way to bring the electricity, Luis Castillo. But I think right now, you know, just based on my trust level, I think I would go, you know, like, you know, Logan Gilbert and Brian Wu at the top, obviously. You know, you could go Brian Wu 1, Logan Gilbert 2. I think I would go Logan Evans 3, George Kirby 4 until he gets more consistent, and then Luis Castillo 5. But then I would probably go Miller over Castillo, and then Hancock would be dead last, you know, but Castillo's getting a little older, and everyone else is kind of in the youth movement. So we'll see where it goes. But hopefully we don't have any more injuries like we did at the beginning of the year with Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, and Bryce Miller. And Bryce is still on the IL. He'll be back in a couple weeks, and hopefully he'll be better dealing with the back and the elbow. First pitch from Castillo to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Takes a strike looking low in the zone, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouled off low and away. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 out, 0-0 here in the top of the third. Now, I actually had a Royals Bo Jackson poster. I wonder if you and me had the same poster, back in the day. I mean, there was a lot of them. Obviously, the famous one with, Bo with the shoulder pads and, obviously based off the baseball card. And Bo had a lot of posters back in the day. 0-2 pitch. And Kiner-Falefa grounds out to JP, throw to first. And that is out number 3. Good defense there by the Mariners. Let's go to the bottom of the third. And let's get on the board, baby. Let's get it to be 1-0. Let's see who's up next for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, in the 9-hole, second baseman Cole Young. It's a Cole world, baby. Batting second, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. We always play better when you get a hit in one of your first 2 at-bats. Set the tone at the top. And batting third, 0 for 1, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Right hands up. There we go. Appreciate you. We're at 30, 20 more to the halfway point, and we're at 10 on the dono train, 90 to go. All day, always doing great things, just like Captain when he's here. Appreciate you. Bo Jackson, I got you. I'm a big Bo guy. Always have been, always will be. I'll even do a collage of the cards, which are very cool. Back in the junk wax era, but still, they have a lot of meaning to people that are 35 and up, or 40 and up. If you collected in that era. But there's that card right down in the middle with the shoulder pads and the baseball bat, the score, the Donruss rated rookie, some of the Fleers over there. Beautiful stuff. The Topps Future Stars. That's some quality stuff right there, baby. Love me some Bo. First pitch from Burrows to Cole Young. Takes a strike looking on the corner, 0-1 count. And I'll grab a couple more once we go to another commercial break. Appreciate you, my guy. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. Four-seam fastball by Burrows. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cole Young. And Burrows 1-2 record with an ERA of 4.15. So nothing really to get too worked up about. We should be able to get it done here today. 1-1 pitch, and Young grounds out to first. Tap on the bag, 1 away. Jason in the building. How are you? No home run in the first inning like at the game yesterday on the 4th of July. But I imagine Cal will have a shot to be able to get one, here today, if not 2. But again, watching, greatness in person is super special. And really happy that I was able to go yesterday with my best friend. First pitch, high and inside, takes a strike looking, painting that corner beautifully by Burrows. 0-1 count for JP. And we've already seen 1 converted bunt attempt by Luke Raley. Hopefully we'll be able to start doing that on a regular basis. I don't know what Dan Wilson and Seitzer and Edgar Martinez and Ichiro need to say to these players. And I know sometimes there might be like an ego thing where they don't want to bunt, if they feel like they're more of a power hitter. But, if you're in a slump, the best way to get out of it is to get a freebie, right? Like a layup in basketball. And sometimes if you drop the bunt down perfectly, that's what it ultimately could be. 0-1 pitch. And JP. Oh, and it bounces into the crowd. Nice. Ground rule double by J.P. Crawford, my boy. There we go, JP. Hell yeah. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. Flying Monk says $10 dono for every M's home run tonight. Let's go. 0-1 pitch, fouled off. Slider, 85 miles an hour by Burrows, behind in the count, 0-2. Bottom of the third with a runner at second, J.P. Crawford. Hopefully we can get Julio to get on with a single, and then Cal might be able to get that 3-run jack for home run number 36. Yeah, love me some Cal. The jersey I got on right now is my actual very first Cal Raleigh jersey. I mean, I've been a fan of the Mariners for 40 plus years, even though I look young. I've been watching since, 3-4 years old, and I didn't think I was going to be able to find the right size for us as Julio grounds out to the shortstop, throw to first, 2 away. But you definitely feel, a little bit more aura, a little bit more swag. You got a different kind of vibe, and I'm just really happy that me and my best friend, ended up pulling the trigger and getting one for both of us. And then, Cal hits 2 home runs in the game, and Cal has got 7 multi-homer games. The record, by a switch hitter is 8 on a season, and that's Mickey Mantle. So there's so many records that we know that Cal is going to break. And again, I just can't wait to be able to see, how many of these records that he ends up breaking, and I'll go over those here in a moment. And the Cal Raleigh All-Star jerseys finally arrived at the team store. Even though All-Star jerseys, aren't the greatest and whatnot, but I know there's going to be people that are going to try to buy it just for that memory. Cal's first All-Star game. So, all right, Julio goes to first, baby. Let's go. I like that. Now we got runners at first and second. They're not going to intentionally walk Cal, are they? Oh, wow. Automatic walk for Cal. Come on now. Give the fans what they want. So down goes Julio for out number 2, and then Cal ends up getting the automatic walk. All right, next up is Randy Arozarena. Make him pay, Randy. 5 home runs in 5 games. What a better way to have, insult to injury. You're going to, automatically walk a guy that we want to see, swing a bat. It's like he's getting the Barry Bonds treatment. It's not even the All-Star break. And again, this might be something that, as a reoccurring thing, but we want to see history being made, right? Two-one pitch, high and away. 3 balls and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. 3-1 pitch, fouled off low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Burrows to Arozarena. Yeah, I mean, he's a big dude, and again, you got to get a lot of that power, and I don't think people realize, obviously, the big dumper, he's got a big rear end, for a catcher, but you have to think how much power he has in that, dumper and the legs and that follow through swing. He's able to pull a baseball a lot further than most catchers. He's not really built like Buster Posey or, maybe Pudge Rodriguez, had a certain kind of look and vibe. Mike Piazza as well as being kind of a bigger catcher. Obviously we know back in the day with like Yogi Berra and Johnny Bench, but Cal is a true one of one. And I know that a lot of us thought that Julio was going to be the next Ken Griffey Jr. And, maybe hasn't lived up to those expectations, but at least we have another guy that is going to be able to break records like Ken Griffey Jr. And we can just hope and pray that Julio will continue to get better and better each year. End of the 3rd inning. We're still knotted up here at 0. Let's see who's up next here for the Pirates. Next up for the Pirates, 0 for 1, first baseman Spencer Horwitz. Batting second, DHing Andrew McCutcheon, 0 for 1. And batting third, right fielder, 0 for 1 with a K, Brian Reynolds. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. See if I can find another Bo Jackson here for our boy A-Dog. We're at 10:90 to go. And obviously our likes are starting to climb, which is always a good sign to see. See if I can find one more that will convert. Appreciate you. We're at 10:90 to go. 0-1 pitch, low and away to Spencer Horwitz from Luis Castillo. 1 ball and 1 strike here in the top of the 4th, and we're knotted up at 0. It's J.P. Crawford basketball jersey night, and again, a lot of times when they end up doing a crossover jersey from a different sport, a lot of the giveaways end up being a mess, for any organization. But I think that J.P. Crawford basketball Mariner jersey, it's actually one of the better designs that I've ever seen, from a baseball giveaway. And I know everyone's going to appreciate that when they take it home. 1-1 pitch, outside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Spencer Horwitz. 2-1 pitch, in play, and a nice single to right there by Spencer. Next up, DHing Andrew McCutchen. First base hit there for the Pirates. Four and 5 record, ERA of 3.55. One pitch, high and inside to Andrew McCutchen. 2 balls and 1 strike from Castillo to McCutchen. 2-1 pitch, takes a strike swinging, big swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Andrew McCutchen. We're in the top of the 4th, runner at first with no outs. We need a strikeout and then a double play, or a double play and a strikeout. Let's go, baby. I remember that live as well, the Bo Jackson, Brian Bosworth, when he's running down the sideline all the way in the tunnel. Yeah, I got a lot of memories, there from the early 80s, the mid 80s, and the late 80s, and then the early 90s as well. I mean, if you saw Bosworth in college, though, that guy was an animal, and again, there's not too many individuals that are tough enough to challenge a player at that point. Even though Bosworth didn't really have the greatest NFL career, but, as far as like a high school, college phenom, he definitely was that. 2-2 pitch, fouled off by McCutchen. He's grinding this at-bat out here. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and no outs. Yes, I agree. And again, we know Luis is, at one point at the beginning of the year, it looked like he was having a little bit of a rebirth, but lately he's been a little shaky with the home runs. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and Castillo is wheeling and dealing. Nice job, Luis La Piedra, because most of the time, when Castillo is off, we're already down like 3-0 at this point. So for the score to be 0-0 and to see the pitching staff, the starters, try to match the bullpen, it's awesome. We need to be able to try to get the starters, the bullpen, and the hitting all, together in one game. And normally we get 2 out of 3, but definitely got to give the love to Castillo today, at least up to this point. He's not out of the clear just yet. He's got a couple more innings to go, but so far, magnificent start. First pitch to Brian Reynolds. Big swing and a miss, low and at the knees, 0-1 count. Castillo on the mound. Reynolds in the box. 0-1 pitch, fouled off. Right down the middle with that slider. 86 miles an hour by Castillo. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out in the top of the 4th. Yeah, the shoulder pads. Yeah, lots of people had that. And that card as well. Even though it's not really worth a lot, it's just kind of one of those like iconic cards every baseball collector was chasing back in the day. 0-2 pitch, high and away. Four-seam fastball by Castillo. Tries to paint the corner, barely misses it. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brian Reynolds. Go M's. Definitely felt like it was going to be a little bit low scoring of a matchup compared to yesterday. 2-2 pitch, and that's a big swing and a miss. 4th of July, you're going to, even though we ended up splitting with the Royals, 4th of July, you want to win for your country, you want to win for your fans, you want to be able to just put out a good performance for the fans. And even when the Orioles were very, very good last year, we found a way to beat them when I went to the 4th of July game in 2024. So, it's starting to become, I think, a routine and kind of a celebration every year with me and my best friend Justin. And luckily, we're able to get dubs on those games as well. I think we've gone to 10 games, and I think we've only lost 1. So we got a pretty high percentage of wins when we go together. Next up is Nick Gonzalez, 0 for 1 with a K. First pitch, low and out the knees with the sinker, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first and 2 outs. Castillo on the mound, Nick Gonzalez in the box. Trident's up, let's go M's. Let's go, baby. 1-1 pitch, in play, and Gonzalez grounds out to second, throw to first. And that is out number 3. It's been a good pitcher's duel. And again, defense has been good as well. And just like it was yesterday with Randy and Julio making plays in the outfield. And hopefully we can get the bats to come alive here at some point. I mean, it may be one of those games where it's like a 3-1 game. It might be a little lower scoring, but remember, all it takes is one shitty pitcher to have a meltdown, and then either team can, have an explosion of runs, 1-5, in a single inning. So, we'll see how it goes here, but let's go to the bottom of the 4th, and let's see if we can get at least a minimum of a 1-0 lead to kind of set the tone. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1, Jorge Polanco. Batting second, 1 for 1 with a bunt to third, and he was safe. Let's do that again, baby. Luke Raley. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, right fielder Dominic Canzone. But to go over Cal Raleigh and some of these historic things that, he's pacing for 64 home runs right now. Now, some of the records that he's chasing, most home runs in a season in the American League. Judge was 62 in 2022. In Julio's rookie year, I actually got an Aaron Judge ball at that game when he came to Seattle that year that he hit the 62 home runs. So if Cal gets 63, he breaks that record, which he may do. Most home runs in a season by a Mariners player, 56 by Ken Griffey Jr. There's a good chance he's going to break that. Most home runs in a season by a switch hitter, 54, Mickey Mantle, right? So he'll probably be able to do that. Most home runs in a season by a primary catcher, Salvador Perez, 48. And then again, the most switch hitting home runs, or switch hitter home runs for multi, home run games. The record right now is Mickey Mantle with 8 since he batted from the left and the right. Cal's at 7 already. So, Brian Wu is a part of 3 of them. So there's a pretty good chance we're going to see Cal homer, 2 times in a game, a few more times, throughout the season. And if we're really lucky, maybe we'll get a 3-homer game by Cal or a 4-homer game by Cal, like Eugenio Suarez did early in the year. But, it's crazy to think that we have a player as good as like Ken Griffey Jr. right now, and it's not Julio, but it's pretty amazing. And again, the Yankees would still make the playoffs more than likely without Judge. In most years, the Dodgers would definitely make it without Ohtani, but the Mariners wouldn't even be in second place without Cal. We would probably be last or 4th in the division with the Athletics. So if we're really talking MVP, it's definitely Cal Raleigh this year. But, who knows? They'll probably give it to Judge and Ohtani. But if there was ever a year there was a player that was on the Judge Ohtani level, it's fucking this year. And I think everyone knows it, even outsiders, that aren't Mariner fans. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. And Polo strikes out, 1 away. Come on, Polo. Next up, 1-for-1 with a bunt attempt to third, and he ran it out safe. I love Luke Raley's hustle. Let's see what we get here out of Luke. And his second at bat. First pitch to Luke Raley, low and at the knees with a curve, 1-0 count. 1-2 record, 4.15 ERA for Mike Burrows. No pitch, fouls one off high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Burrows to Raley. And then again, a lot of these other records that are in place, are going to be for guys that cheated, like Bonds and McGuire and Sosa. So all those guys get thrown out. So, if we're really talking about, players, that didn't cheat, even though there's guys that had over 62 home runs, they all did PEDs or steroids. But really, the Aaron Judge 62 home runs, is legit. And then Roger Maris obviously had 61, and then Judge broke that in 2022. There's a very good possibility. 0-2 pitch, or 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Luke Raley on strikes, swinging 2 away. But there's a good chance that, you're going to get more than 62, I hope, for Cal. Right now he's pacing for around 64, but again, record is 48 by Salvador Perez. And yeah, it's possible that he slows down a little and gets 50 to 59, but how amazing would it be for a catcher to do 60 to 70 home runs, especially if he was able to get, like a huge number like that with no PEDs, no steroids, no Balco investigation like Barry Bonds. It's definitely a special time. And again, he's more than likely, if he can stay healthy and play like 15 years, there's a very, very good possibility that Cal will be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done, and hopefully he plays his whole career with the Mariners. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike, swinging low and in the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. Burrows on the mound, Canzone in the box. Yeah, crazy, right? Like, especially when you look at, some of those numbers that, some of the OGs that were able to do back in the day, the Babe Ruths and the Joe DiMaggios and the Lou Gehrigs and the Willie Mays and the Hank Aaron's and the Mickey Mantles. It's really crazy. And I'm just really happy that we have another legend, in the making. 1-1 pitch, in play. Dom, run, Dom. Yes, safe at second. Here we go. Nice job, Dom. Dom has been really swinging the bat well since we promoted him from the Tacoma Rainiers. And speaking of the Tacoma Rainiers, the next 2 individuals that got the call up this year, rookie Ben Williamson, and on deck, rookie Cole Young. Let's go. And down goes Ben for out number 3. That was way too fast. And I know we want to be like overly aggressive, but we want to make sure that you're working the count. You can't have every player 1 through 9 be so overly aggressive. We don't need 9 Julios in the box, and I get it. Sometimes there is going to be that first pitch strike. And then if you swing and connect, it's going to be a homer or a single or a double or a ground rule double, or maybe an occasional triple here and there. But, we'll see where it goes. The approach that we've had so far hasn't been working. Pitching has been good. We haven't really been able to leave too many guys stranded, and hopefully we'll be able to turn it on, I guess, once the starters go out. But we'll see where it goes. End of the 4th, we're knotted up at 0. Let's see who's up next here in the top of the 5th. Next up in the top of the 5th, 0-for-1 center fielder O'Neal Cruz. Batting second, 0-for-1, third baseman T. Brian Hayes. And batting third, left fielder, 0-for-1, Tommy Pham. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. All day, a couple minutes ago, said we're 8 away from 50. Let's go, baby. Let's get it. 58 more to hit the goal. And we're at 10 on the dono train, 90 to go. Yeah. And then there was a couple moments back in the day, like in an all-star games, if you go back and watch old footage, where Bonds was on the Pirates and he was still skinny. If Bonds never cheated, he would have been a Hall of Famer. like 100%. Like his numbers were good enough to be like one of the top, 20 or 25 players of all time, but he wanted to be greedy, and wanted to be number one. But, there's always going to be a price to pay if you're cheating, to get those numbers. And now, Bonds, cheater, McGuire, cheater, Sosa, cheater, Rafael Palmeiro, cheater, Clemens, cheater, and it's kind of a damn shame because those are a lot of those guys that, I really enjoyed watching. And even the Bash brothers with Jose Canseco and Mark McGuire back in the day. I mean, it was a crazy time, but that's also what makes Ken Griffey Jr. so special, that out of all of these legends, and GOATs that we used to watch in the 80s and 90s, Griffey was really one of the only ones that was elite that never cheated, and I'm so happy for that. First pitch, low and at the knees to O'Neal Cruz from Luis Castillo, pitching a gem right now, 1-0 count. And we'll go over the stat line for both pitchers here in a moment. 1-0 pitch, fouled off, high and away, four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour by Castillo. 1 ball and 1 strike to O'Neal Cruz. Pretty cool story for O'Neal Cruz that I read this morning. A fan that had front row seats, already obviously rich parents, did a 3D image of the Spider-Man mask, but in Pirates colors, in black and yellow, and ended up giving it to O'Neal Cruz with a card. And in return, he got an autographed bat and batting gloves. Pretty cool trade-off there. You're just making some 3D mask of, Pirates colors of Spider-Man, and you give him a graded card, and then you get a fucking autographed bat, game used, and, a couple batting gloves. That would be definitely any baseball kid's dream come true, regardless of player. Which is low and out of the zone. Now count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes to O'Neal Cruz. Let's go, Louise. Bring that electricity, baby. Boone was really underrated as a hitter, especially in that 2001 year. In play on the 3-2 pitch, and Cruz grounds out to second, throw to first. Boom, got him. 1 away. Next up for the Pirates, third baseman Ke'Bryan Hayes, who had a heater at home in Pittsburgh when they had that 6 straight wins in a row. But again, on the road, Pirates not as good. 0-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle, behind the count 0-2 to Ke'Bryan Hayes. Keep going, Louise. You're doing great. Top of the 5th, 1 out, 0-0 game. And again, I love defense, but again, it's nice to be able to get some ribbies and home runs, and hopefully those will open up here shortly. And another reason I think that, people don't realize, obviously Cal's success, obviously being a natural born left-handed hitter and, just being great, as a righty, but he's been able to bring up his batting average on the right side, like 100 points, So imagine like if you were like a 180 hitter, 200 hitter, and now you're like, 280 from that side and you're like 100 points higher and you have the power to go, yard. That definitely makes a difference. And Hayes strikes out looking. There we go. 2 away. Next up, Tommy Pham. 0 for 1 for Tommy, and let's hopefully it'll be 0 for 2. Keep bringing that electricity, Louise. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. And if you've noticed in this matchup, Louise is doing something that he wasn't able to do in his previous 5 or 6 starts, is he's getting a lot of first pitch strikes. A lot of hitters are not intimidated by Castillo anymore, and he kind of goes through these waves where he looks really good like he did on the Reds, or that first year that we brought him in with Cal and Julio's first year starting in 2022 when we made the playoffs. And then every year after that, 2023 and 2024, Castillo was kind of on a decline, with his numbers. But then in 2025, it was kind of a rebirth. He was pitching more like the 2022 version or the 2021 version of the Reds. So, he's going to go through these waves where he's consistent, and then at times he gives up a lot of homers. But today, looking pretty fucking good. 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. High and in the strike zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, 2 outs, 0-0 game, Pirates and Mariners. I got a high school buddy, Brian, that's actually at the game that messaged me on one of my posts that he's there for the J.P. Crawford basketball jersey, but obviously not the same type of game that I went to on the 4th of July with a 6-0 win and 4 home runs, 2 by Cal, 1 by Randy, and 1 by Demo. But hopefully he'll be able to have something to talk about here in these last 4 innings. 2-2 pitch, fouled off, low and away, sinker, 95 miles an hour by Castillo. 2 balls, 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. And hopefully he doesn't give up any home runs. If he doesn't give up any, if he pitches 6-7 innings, it'll be the first game in a long time he hasn't given up 1, 2, 3 home runs in an outing. And down goes Pham. There we go, baby. Let's look at the pitching stats here real quick. Coming into the game, 4-5 record with a ERA of 3.55. Let's see what he's got today. 5 innings pitched, 1 hit. So he's got a 1-hitter, no earned runs. But the key stat for Luis, 0 walks. Super rare. That never happens. 6 Ks. Obviously, that's a pretty good for him at this stage of his career. 65 pitches, 45 strikes. So essentially, Castillo could go, 7-8 innings if he keeps pitching like this. And his ERA has gone down to 3.38 from 3.55. Nice job, Luis. This is one of the best games of his year so far in 2025, no doubt. And then we got Burrows, 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks, 56 pitches, 38 strikes, 3.72 ERA. So, there definitely are some Ks involved, and it may not be a pitching duel similar to maybe what we're going to get tomorrow. It could be a similar type of score tomorrow with Skeens and Kirby, but we'll see. You never know. Skeens and Kirby are good pitchers when they're healthy, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be 0-0 or 1-0 for a majority of the game. We'll find out tomorrow, but we need the bats to come alive. Let's go. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1, second baseman Cole Young. Batting second, 1 for 2, shortstop J.P. Crawford. And batting third, 0 for 2, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Go, baby. First pitch from Burrows to Young, high and away. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking low and away with the curveball, 75 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cole Young. Burrows on the mound, Young in the box. Let's go, Cole. It's a Cole world, baby. Let's go. One 0 pitch. Takes a strike looking. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cole Young. 1-1 pitch in play and fouled out to third. 1 away. Next up, shortstop J.P. Crawford. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. Come on, J.P., let's go, baby. Start a rally. Someone's got to start it here. 0-1 pitch. Low and at the knees. Should have been called strike 2, but for whatever reason, got called ball. 1 ball and 1 strike from Burrows to J.P. Bottom of the 5th, 0-0, Pirates and Mariners. 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. We need JP to get on base. Let's go, baby. But I was really surprised that I didn't see one Skeens jersey, in the entire T-Mobile. And I walked like around the whole stadium. Obviously we like to be able to tour all the little nooks and crannies, all the different shops and all of the different food options. I saw a lot of Roberto Clemente's, even on kids that have no idea who that is, as Crawford grounds out to first, 2 away. But I figured I would see some adults and some kids that had some Skeens. Maybe they're just waiting for the Skeens start tomorrow, and maybe we'll see some kids on TV then. But a little shocking that I didn't see any McCutcheons, didn't see any Skeens, which was weird. It was all like throwback old jerseys, but no Andy Van Slyke's or Barry Bonds or anything like that. It was pretty much like Roberto Clemente's, and there was a lot of fans from other teams. Like I saw a guy that was like 2 rows in front of me had a Acuna jersey. So there was fans of other teams that were celebrating the 4th, but you'd think there would be more Skeens jerseys out there, especially from the kids. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Burrows to Julio. 2-0 pitch, low and away with that slider, 84 miles an hour. 3 balls and no strikes to Julio Rodriguez. Julio, take the fucking walk. Don't swing. Next pitch more than likely will be a strike, and then the next one, if you don't swing, more than likely will be ball 4. But if you swing and you foul tip it, then it's going to be 3-2, and the pitcher is back in control, and that might lead to a strikeout. So we'll see if Julio will have any sense of patience here. 3-1 pitch, and just like I said, there it is, that 5th pitch. After going 3-0, right down the middle for the strike, 3-1, and then you get that ball, and that's what it is. And a lot of times if you watch baseball, you can pick up tendencies, and nice job by Julio by not overly being too aggressive. Nice job, Julio. We got to make sure we're praising him when he's doing good, not just getting on him every single day. Next up is big dumper Cal Raleigh. And if he hits a homer here, number 36, we go up 2-0. Make it happen. And Julio ended up having a slow dribbler yesterday, and the throw got bobbled at first, and he got on. And then Cal hit the 2-run jack. Hardest hit baseball in his career. Double-decker. It was literally 3 rows from leaving the stadium. It was insane, too, to be there in person to hear that crack of the bat. And hopefully Cal can do it again here. Let's go, Cal. I think they're going to switch pitchers here. Everyone's afraid of Cal now. And, Aaron Judge is amazing, and Shohei Ohtani is amazing being a pitcher and a hitter. But there's just something about a catcher being dominant that's so cool. It's like in the NFL, offensive linemen don't really get a lot of love, or defense or special teams, and I really appreciate things like that. Not to say that quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends don't matter. They do, but I like to see those other guys get the love. 0-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. No balls and 2 strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh. 35 home runs, number 1 in MLB. Judge and Ohtani trailing him. And I'm really hoping that Cal can get somewhere between 60 and 70 this year. Pretty amazing to think of someone that could do that clean. And being a switch hitter and being able to homer just as many times from the left as the right. There's not, usually there's a drop off from your offhand where it's like one guy might have, 20 homers on the left, but on switch hitting side, maybe on the right side, he's not as good. He has like 5. But with Cal, he can equally, dump it regardless left or right, which is amazing. Torpedo bat engaged. 0-2 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first, Julio, and 2 outs. 1-2 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. Count still remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Let's go, baby. I got your jersey yesterday, baby. So fresh and so clean. Let's bring that electricity, Cal. Bottom of the 5th, runner at first, Julio with 2 outs. Burrows on the mound, getting tired. Cal in the box. 1-2 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. And I love this color of the City Connect. It definitely reminds me of the old Ken Griffey Jr. Jerseys back in the 80s and the early 90s. They do need to bring the grays back, though, at some point. I don't know if that means that they need to, figure out what they want to do. They got the whites, they got the creams, the navy blues, the teal, and then the City Connect blue. I want to see the grays make a comeback, though. 2-2 pitch, fouled off. Count still remains 2 balls, 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. We're knotted up at 0. Cal Raleigh, big dumper at 35 home runs. Going to break a lot of records this year, and I don't really think this is just like a one-off thing. I think that this is going to be a regular thing for Cal, where he's going to be recognized as like a top 2 catcher, if not number 1, moving forward. There's not going to be too many guys that are going to be on his level. There's guys that are decent, like Will Smith on the Dodgers, having a great year. You always hear about like JT Realmuto, from the Phillies and a few others, but they're not on the Cal Raleigh, stratosphere. Like Cal's got 35 home runs, right? Second place for catchers, doesn't even have 18. Like, it's under that. So that shows you how dominant Cal is. Hell, Cal has probably more home runs from the right side than anyone else as a catcher does, combined. So definitely doing something special here. 2-2 pitch, high and away. Count now is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first, Julio, with a walk and 2 outs. We're knotted up at 0. It's a pitcher's duel. Let's go, baby. It's my boy, Brooks. Brooks Beats. It's my friend that is a beat maker here in the Pacific Northwest. You can go to his SoundCloud and see some of the stuff that he's come up with. And, we used to work sales together, for years on end with a big crew when I used to do like, Verizon Business, when we would call, business owners in like New York and Boston, some of the most ruthless, cutthroat individuals. And, we set them up with cable, internet, and phone for their business and whatnot. And 3-2 pitch, and there's a walk for Cal. And again, he's had a few other jobs since we stopped working together, but I always told him, if you have a passion, for beat making and music, you got to be able to put in the time and the effort and the energy. Like even with me here on this channel, I've been doing this for, 13 years. This is my 9th year on YouTube. And, if he would have kind of matched my work ethic back then, who knows, where he would be today. But, people know who he is. Like Busta Rhymes, reached out to him a couple years ago, listened to some of his stuff, but again, you got to be careful with some of those rappers, because a lot of times when you have a artist that's not fully discovered yet, you see some of these big artists try to poach some of these up and coming, beat makers and artists and trying to claim their work. So, but my buddy's uber talented, and I will always support my friends achieving their dreams as well. 1-0 pitch, high and inside, 2 balls and no strikes to Randy Arozarena. Randy has homered in 5 straight games, and we'll see if he can do it here again. Runners at first and second, Julio at second, Cal at first. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking on the line. 2 balls and 1 strike with runners at first and second and 2 outs. And we're still knotted up at 0. Games usually range, anywhere from really quick like yesterday, 2 hours to 2 hours and 10 minutes. But standard games are usually 2 hours and 30 minutes to 3 hours. If it goes extra innings, then it could go 3 hours to 4 hours, depending on, what we're talking about, score-wise. And Julio safe at third. Come on, baby. 2-2 pitch. High and inside. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Burrows to Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. 3-2 pitch, fouled off, high and inside. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, runners out in the corners at first and third, and 2 outs. And 3-2 pitch, and Randy strikes out looking. That was the first time all game where we actually had a chance to bring someone home. And, 48, 49%, 50%, it's in that 48 to 50% range of our total runs or home runs. So when we don't hit a home run, we usually don't win. You got to hit at least one. And we haven't hit one yet, but that doesn't mean that we won't, and it's hard to win because you got to think, getting back-to-back hits, 3 in a row, is not easy, and then when you get runs to score off 2 hits, you have to have that person that got the first one get to at least second or third to be able to knock someone in. Unless you get someone that, is lazy in left field or right field, and you have a guy that's got burner speed at first, and you line drive it down the line, then you might be able to get someone scoring from first all the way to home, but they better have the speed. End of the 5th inning, we're knotted up at 0. We're still looking for our first run in the matchup. Mariners with 3 hits, Pirates with 1, no errors, and it looks like we're just going to have to wait for the starters to go out before we start to rake, baby. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Pirates. Next up for the Pirates, in the 8-hole, 0 for 1 with a K, catcher Joey Bart. Batting second. In the 9-hole, 0 for 1, the former Yankee, shortstop, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And batting third, 1 for 2, having a good day, first baseman, Spencer Horwitz. Trident's up, let's go M's. Spencer with their only hit so far. Well, baseball, you're not going to score, 4 or 5 runs every inning. There's going to be some games like yesterday where we scored 2 runs in the first inning and, hit multiple home runs after that and won 6-0. But just because the score is 0-0 now doesn't mean, that the game won't end with a 5-0 score. It definitely could happen. All it takes is one bad pitcher to have a meltdown and the other team starts getting hits or home runs, and then the score can blow up. So, not every baseball score is going to be high scoring. Sometimes it's going to be a little low scoring, and obviously it's a pitcher's duel. The better the pitchers are, in that particular day, then obviously that means less home runs and RBIs. And then once the starters go out, which is usually in the 6th and 7th inning, then usually backups come in the bullpen, and most of those are, hit or miss, and then the game will open up. 1-1 pitch to Joey Bart. High and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Castillo to Bart. Let's go, Louise. Keep wheeling and dealing, baby. Castillo on the mound. Bart in the box. Top of the 6th. We're still knotted up at 0. Let's go. Two-one pitch, and Bart lines out to center. There we go. Julio is there. No fly zone, 1 away. Lord in the building. What's good? First pitch from Castillo to Kiner-Falefa. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. Let's go, Luis. And this is probably one of the best starts Luis has had all year. It started off very strong at the beginning of the year. It looked like a rebirth in his career. Then, lately he has been giving up quite a few home runs and hasn't been that great. But today, looking pretty fucking good. 0-1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Kiner-Falefa. Come on, baby. Top of the 6th. We're knotted up at 0. Thank you, man. First big dumper jersey in the collection. I got Ken Griffey Jr.'s. I got 3 or 4. I think I got 4. I gave one to my buddy as a gift, a few years back. Got a couple Julios, but no Cal Raleighs, though. So I figured, yesterday was and my buddy, my best friend, got one too. So next time when we go to a 4th of July game next year, we'll both be wearing the Cal City Connects together. And again, we both get the jersey, and then Cal hits 2 home runs. Pretty special day, man. Seeing Randy homer again was cool, and even Demo getting off the Schneid, being like 0 for a billion, and then him hitting a home run was crazy. 2-2 pitch to Kiner Falefa, and he grounds out to the shortstop to JP, throw to first, got him. 2 away. Next up is first baseman Spencer Horwitz, who's got the only hit for the Pirates up to this point. One hitter for Luis Castillo. That's wild. Yeah, but I already got plenty of Griffies. I got the gray one that, is probably my favorite jersey. And I got the Horwitz singles to right on the first pitch. Nice hit there. Yeah, but I got like a Russell Athletic, because that used to be the brand back in the 90s. But I got like the jersey that has no sleeves that's got the turtleneck to match. But that's like a $600 jersey with the turtleneck, and I can't wear that to the game. I don't want to ruin it or spill something on it. I don't even wear that one on stream. It just kind of stays in the closet with the bag over it and whatnot. But once in a while, I'll bust it out. First pitch from Castillo to McCutchen, high and away, 1-0 count. Hope you had a good 4th of July, Lauren. Spring break in Peoria. That'd be sweet. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking in the zone, high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first with 2 outs. Castillo pitching a gem, and McCutchen in the box. 1-1 pitch in play, and McCutchen lines out to left, and he is out. That is out number 3. Lots of defense, lots of strong pitching. It's been a little tough for the hitters up to this point, obviously. But once the starters go out, this should open up. And, I mean, if this is a game that's going to be 1-0 and the Mariners win, which, doesn't happen often, I don't think any Mariner fan is going to mind. At this point, you just want to win the series because we got Skeens on the mound for the Pirates tomorrow. Even though his record isn't very good, he's got a good ERA, and we could always lose to a guy like Skeens. He's not as dominant as Skubal, but Skubal ends up getting run support, and Skubal has been the best pitcher the last 2 years. So, but we got Kirby on the mound tomorrow, and if Kirby can pitch well, we should have a chance. And then Castillo obviously gave up his second hit to the same player, but 2-hitter. I think we'll take that. All right, let's look at the pitcher's stats here real quick, and we'll see who's up next here for the Mariners. We need to get on the board, baby. And I've been wanting a City Connect jersey, and obviously at some point I'll get a Randy Johnson throwback, an Ichiro throwback, an Edgar Martinez throwback. But especially with Cal having this magical year, I had to salute him, and I just was hoping that they would have the right size, and we finally found one, which was great. Next up, 0 for 2 with a K, Jorge Polanco. Batting second, first baseman, Luke Raley, who bunted to third and actually was safe at his first at-bat. Do that again. And batting third, right fielder Dominic Canzone. All right, let's take a quick peek. Luis Castillo, 4-5 record with a 3.55 ERA coming in. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks. That's crazy. 6 Ks, 79 pitches, 54 strikes, 3.34 ERA. Keep letting him pitch. At this point, he's only given up 2 hits to Spencer Horwitz, and that's it. I mean, he's pitching great. Don't, waste it. And Burrows, obviously, is out. And 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 4 walks, 6 Ks, 85 pitches, 53 strikes, 3.63 ERA. 1-2 record for Burrows with an ERA of 4.15. So his ERA went down slightly. And now they're going to bring in Ferguson, who's got an ERA of 2.61. So we'll see where this goes moving forward. First pitch to Jorge Polanco from Ferguson. Low and at the knees, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, fouled off high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. Bottom of the sixth, 0-0 game after the Mariners ended up hitting 4 home runs yesterday on the 4th of July. I was there at T-Mobile. The vibes were immaculate. So they had a nice trucker hat giveaway, which I'll probably end up wearing on the stream at some point or another. 2 homers by Cal, 1 by Randy, 1 by Demo, 6-0 victory. Wasn't going to be like that today. Probably not like that tomorrow either, but we just got to find a way. 1-2 pitch, and Polo connects. Go, Polo. Run. Safe. Nice double by Jorge Polanco. Here we go. This is the inning that we're going to score. Polo with a double to start it off with no outs. Next up is Luke Raley. If he bunts, we can end up getting that runner over to third. And he might even be safe himself at first. First pitch, high and away, 1-0 count. And maybe we'll get a couple walks, or maybe a guy will get plunked, and then we can load the bases. But we should be able to get at least 1 in this inning. As long as Polo doesn't get caught sleeping, in between second and third and get thrown out. So. Let's go, baby. I believe, man. He's got to grind this one out. 1-0 pitch. And Rayleigh grounds out to first, Polo to third, which is essentially like a bunt, and he gets the runner over, 1 away. Nice job by Luke Rayleigh. And now we got Donovan Solano coming in for Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Don. Let's go, Solano. Solano can get a single here. Now, if this was at the beginning of the year, he wouldn't have gotten anything. He started the year 4 for 40, and he was batting 100. But at his lowest point, he was at .50. And we were thinking, how is this guy still on the team? But now, lately, within the last month and a half, he's actually been one of the top 3 productive Mariner hitters. And at one point, a few days back, he had one of the best batting average with 50 plate appearances in that window, where he was, insane. I don't even know the exact number. I'll have to look it up, but it was like something crazy, like 28 hits out of the last 50 at-bats, for a guy that couldn't even get a hit in a game. And hopefully Donovan will get a walk, or he'll be able to get an RBI single, so we'll go up 1-0. 1-0 pitch, high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes from Ferguson to Solano. You got to go with the hot hand, and that's why they chose him over Rowdy Tellez, which was the smart decision. And obviously going with Dominic Canzone over Leody Taveras was the right decision as well. And again, Dan Wilson sometimes doesn't make good decisions with the bullpen, but those were good decisions by Dan and the management and the ownership. 2-1 pitch, takes a strike looking, right down the middle. 2 balls and 1 strike to Donovan Solano. 2-1 pitch, fouled it off, high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Donovan Solano. Come on, baby. We need that RBI or take the walk. 2-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes when a runner at third and 1 out. And this is the only second time where we've had a chance to bring in a run. We had runners at first and third in the 5th, but we didn't get anything. And it's not like we've left a bunch of guys stranded today. It's definitely been slim pickings as far as hitting is concerned. Obviously, with the score still being 0-0, but it's not like we have left 20 guys on base. But hopefully, we'll be able to get an RBI here. 3-2 pitch, fouled off right down the middle with a slurve ball. Slider curve combo, which is a new thing in the last 2 years. You're starting to see a few more pitchers attempt the slurve. Bottom of the 6th, runner at third with 1 out, 0-0 game. Ferguson, 3-2 pitch, fouled off again with the 4-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour to Donovan Solano. Come on, Don. I believe in you, my guy. Reflect in the building. What's good? Hope you had a good 4th of July. Yeah, it was an amazing time, man. We got there early, no car accidents. or anything. It was a smooth 3-hour drive in the morning. Got there early, had some food, toured the whole stadium, went to a couple of the Mariner team stores. We're desperately looking for big dumper jerseys, but they didn't have, the bigger sizes. They had hundreds of people in this store inside the stadium, but they had smalls and mediums and schmediums, larges. 3-2 pitch, and he grounds out 2 away. Normally Don comes up in that situation, but not so fast there. All right, Ben, it's your turn, my guy. And hopefully Ben can get an RBI single to make it 1-0. Come on now. All right, no problem. 1-0 pitch. Incoming here shortly. High and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Ben Williamson. Come on, baby. Bottom of the 6th. We're knotted up at 0. We left runners stranded in the 5th on 1st and 3rd. But now we got a runner at 3rd. We just need a hit. And hopefully we'll get it here. And now you got a 3-0 count to Ben Williamson. 2-0 pitch, high and inside. Don't swing. And again, next pitch should be right down the middle, and it'll be a 3-1 count. And if you don't swing, then it should be a 5-pitch walk. Otherwise, if you end up taking the strike here and then swinging at the next one, it'll be 3-2, and then the count goes back into the pitcher's favor. You want to make sure that you have the advantage. And hopefully we get a walk here from Ben. 3-0 pitch. There's the strike that I predicted. There it is. 3 balls and 1 strike. And now this will be typically 80% of the time when a pitcher throws a 3-0, this next one will not hit the zone. But if the hitter swings, then it'll be 3-2 with the foul tip. Let's see what happens here. Hopefully it ends up just being a 5-pitch walk. We'll have runners at 1st and 3rd, and hopefully Cole Young can get the RBI single to give us a 1-0 lead. Come on, Big Ben. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Yes, it was awesome. Here we go. 3-1 pitch. And Williamson connects. Run, run, run. And safe. And that brings in the run. Nice job. And here we go. We finally get on the board. Ben with an RBI. Polo comes home. What a great hit into the gap. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about, baby. 1-0 Mariners. Better late than never. There we go. First pitch to Cole Young, and he gets hit. There we go. Kind of had a feeling that this pitcher was going to have a meltdown and he might walk or hit a guy, like I mentioned 5 minutes ago. And there it is. Now we got runners at 1st and 2nd with 2 outs, and we're good with 2 outs. A lot of teams, they struggle with 2 outs. Mariners are a top 3 team with 2 outs, especially late in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. We can go on a nice rally. Next up is J.P. Crawford. J.P. Crawford is overdue for a home run. He hasn't hit one since Father's Day. He hits a homer here, 4-0, it's over. I mean, it might, it's too early to say if it's over with a 1-0 score, even though it's been limited, but we'll see what we get here. Even just getting a single, RBI double, or just a single itself would really help keep the drive going. And then next up would be Julio. 0-1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. And it's awesome to be able to see the development of, Ben Williamson and Cole Young. There's going to be times where, they look like rookies, where, oh man, maybe they need a little bit more time in AAA. But obviously with the staff that we have, we need to play them for them to gain experience. But lately, you've seen some growth out of Williamson and Young. They're starting to kind of figure out the pro game, which is nice to see. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to J.P. Crawford. Ferguson, the lefty, is all over the fucking place. I love it. Meltdown, meltdown, meltdown. 2-1 pitch, high and away. 3 balls and 1 strike with runners at 1st and 2nd and 2 outs. And hopefully they'll just keep this Ferguson in for this entire 6th. And maybe we'll be able to get to 2-0, 3-0, or 4-0 with one swing. Three-one pitch. Big swing and a miss right down the middle. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count is full with runners at first and second and 2 outs. 1-0 Mariner lead. Let's go Mariners. Trident's up. Let's go JP. Come on now. Let's go, JP. Bottom of the 6th. 3-2 pitch. And great eye by JP. Julio could only dream. Now we got bases loaded for Julio Rodriguez. I mean, he actually has been a little bit more patient today, but he's still 0 for 2 with a walk. This would be a great opportunity. We don't even need a grand salami. I don't know if that's the type of mindset that he has, when he's got bases loaded. But honestly, if you just get a single, that's good enough. Rather than, being overly aggressive, swinging on the first pitch and popping up, and then the inning is over and you leave 3 stranded. Like, let's try to get 4 or 5 pitches in and wait for that sweet spot, And again, pitchers know that Julio is going to swing more than likely at the first 2 pitches, no matter where they are. And, I would hope that Julio would recognize that that's not going to help him grow as a player. But sometimes being overly aggressive pays off. They throw one right down the middle. He does connect, and it ends up being a single, double, triple, or home run, or maybe in this case, a grand salami. But, I just want something positive. Even if he forces a walk and we get that freebie run from third. But it looks like they're going to make a pitching change for Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 100 likes before the stream ends. We got at least half of the people in the room that haven't smashed that like button yet. Please do. Help us out with the metrics and the analytics. And again, it really does matter. Everyone has been participating on such a high level. We've been gaining a lot of subs, a lot of views. We went from, maybe when the season first started, 1,000 to 1,500 regular viewers that would come to the channel. Now we're at like 3,500. So again, everyone that participates, whether it's liking the channel, liking the stream, sharing the stream, donating to the stream, chatting in the stream, it really does make a big difference. That is facts. And we gained a few more subs here today. 5 actually. $61 subs to go to hit 21,000. Let's go, baby. And just to kind of give you guys an idea, it actually has gone up through the metrics. So instead of it being at 3,500, it's gone up to 3,700. It's like literally going up every day. 3,700 regular viewers across the globe. Appreciate you guys very, very much. We're at 10 on the dono train, 90 to go. First pitch to Julio Rodriguez. Low and away, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and no strikes from Matson to Julio. When's the last time you've seen Julio take 2 pitches? And again, if he just doesn't swing, we might get a freebie, a walk, and then that runner from third automatically comes in and it's 2-0. That would be a benefit to the team. I know Julio wants to be a hero and, hit the grand salami, get the big, ground rule double, have the big 2-run RBI. But, there's other ways you can help the team, and it's going to be much better for you to just, be patient rather than trying to be the hero every time. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking on the line. When's the last time you've seen Julio take 3 pitches? Never. All right, Julio, I like the way this at-bat is going so far. 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, and that was actually a good pitch to swing at, the best one at the at-bat. Maybe he is learning from Edgar and Ichiro and Seitzer slightly. 2 balls and 2 strikes with bases loaded and 2 outs. We just need an RBI single. Again, just something simple. We got Cal Raleigh on deck. He can be the guy that makes it happen. 2-2 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. Another good pitch to swing out there, but just a little bit behind. 2 balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded, 2 outs. Matson on the mound, Julio in the box. I just want to get to Cal this inning if possible. Come on, Julio. And down goes Julio. Brutal. And again, he was patient, didn't swing at the first 3 pitches. And I don't know, he's not going to be able to come up, in that situation all the time, but there will be times that, he will be able to hit the grand salami or get a single or take a walk, but unfortunately nothing there. And we leave 3 stranded. And again, it hasn't been one of these games where we've left 20 guys stranded, but we have left runners at first and third, and then now they're bases loaded. So if we were able just to get one more hit, could have been 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, but hopefully, Cal Raleigh and some of the others will make up for that blunder. All right, let's go to the top of the 7th inning. Mariners with a 1-0 lead. Ben Williamson coming up big and getting us that double to bring home Polo 1-0 Mariners. Castillo is only at 79 pitches, so he'll be back out there. 2 hits for the Pirates by Spencer Horwitz, and that's it. And then we have 5 hits and then that 1 run. Took us a while to get going, but hopefully the game will open up now. Next up for the Pirates, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, right fielder Brian Reynolds. Batting second baseman Nick Gonzalez. And batting third, center fielder O'Neal Cruz. And so far, so good here for Luis Castillo. This is the best start that he's had in months. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits by the same player, no earned runs, no walks for Luis Castillo, no home runs given up. What? 6 Ks, 79 pitches, 54 strikes. And again, in his last 5 starts, he's given up 8-9 homers. And nothing today through 7 innings shortly. Pretty sweet. But now we just need a little bit more offense to make sure that we can get Luis to win. That way we can get him to 5-5 and at least be 500. Trident's up. Let's go M's. $60 likes, 40 more to go. Let's get it, baby. First pitch from Luis Castillo to Brian Reynolds. Big swing and a miss right down the middle, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, high and away. No balls and 2 strikes to Brian Reynolds. Let's go, Luis. Finish strong. There we go. All day, you're doing a good job. We're at 60, 40 more to go. And we're at 10 on the dono train, 90 to go to hit the goal. Yeah, but there are also going to be times where Julio does come up, pretty big. He had a nice throw out in the game yesterday on the 4th of July when the runner tried to steal second. We made the out. He threw it to first at a laser, ended up, getting that guy out. We want to make sure we're still showcasing some of the good things that Julio does besides the, some of the issues that he has in the box. And also same thing with Randy. Sometimes he's lazy in left field, but made a diving grab in that first inning that prevented them from scoring and then ended up hitting a home run later in the game and has homered in 5 consecutive games. I'm not sure if he'll homer in 6 today, but it kind of feels like we still got a little bit left in the tank. 2-2 pitch, fouled off, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Reynolds. We've gained a few more subs. 59 now. Almost 10 subs already on this stream alone. We're getting closer and closer to the goal of 21,000, then 22, 23, 24, 25,000, then 50,000, 75,000, and eventually the long-term goal, 100,000 subs. 2-2 pitch, in play, and grounds out to third. Williamson, throw to first. Bang. There you go, 1 away. Nice job, Big Ben. Next up for the Pirates, second baseman, 0 for 2 with a K, Nick Gonzalez. First pitch, low and away with that slider, 84 miles an hour by Castillo, 1-0 count. Let him know. I mean, it only takes 1 second, to be able to hit the like button. I know some people are shy and they don't want to chat, and some people can donate. Some people may not have the budget to do so or want to do so, and that's fine. We have the OGs and the regulars and the heavy hitters that will take care of that, and there always will be newbies that will show love. But the least that anybody can do is hit the like button for the metrics, and that'll gain more algorithm hits for YouTube, so that way we can get more people, more subs, more views, more likes, more possible donos, and more growth on the channel is ultimately what we want. So 1-2 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Gonzalez. Top of the 7th inning, 1-0 Seattle. Come on, Castillo, finish strong. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. There we go, baby. That's that electricity that I'm talking about. See ya. Castillo with another punch out, 2 away. Next up, center fielder 0 for 2, O'Neal Cruz. Absolutely, I can. What's your mom's first name? Top of the 7th, 1-0 Seattle. Castillo on the mound, O'Neal Cruz in the box. First pitch to Cruz, fouled off low and away, 0-1 count. Global broadcast here on FS1. Mariners up 1-0. Castillo pitching like he kind of, in the past, he was streaky, but again, he's been kind of up and down this year. Started off the year hot, then started to give up a lot of home runs and was kind of shaky. But today, looking like a Cy Young, candidate, even though we know that he has no chance of getting the award. But nice to be able to have an outing like this at home after what we did on the 4th of July. 1-1 pitch. Takes a strike looking high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to O'Neal Cruz. Happy birthday, Martha. Hope you have a great birthday today and a great birthday weekend. 1-2 pitch, fouled off, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Castillo on the mound, Cruz in the box. Shout out to all the new subs that we've acquired today. 10 subs. Appreciate you guys. Viewership from all over the globe. 2-2 pitch, low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Your number 1 source for Seattle Mariner coverage throughout the year, right here with the NWSF. 3-2 pitch, and that is strike 3 looking. There we go, Castillo. Take a look at Castillo's final line. Unbelievable finish there. 2-hitter by Luis Castillo. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 8 Ks, 99 pitches, 67 strikes, 3.31 ERA. And hopefully we can get a few more runs for insurance, and that way Castillo can get the win. But I've been watching Castillo his whole career, even when he was on the Reds. And out of all the games I've ever watched, this is one of his best. Again, he didn't need to get to 10 Ks, to be an amazing game. But again, obviously, not the game that maybe a lot of us thought was going to happen here today. But again, even if it ends up being 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, as long as we win and win the series, That's all that matters. And we got Skeens and Kirby on the mound tomorrow, which we, potentially could lose if Skeens is lights out and we can't hit after Skeens. But hopefully we will be able to get 1 to 3 runs on Skeens within the first 5 to 6 innings, and then get maybe a couple runs on the bullpen, tomorrow. But we'll see how it goes. It could be, an unexpected game where we score a little bit more on Skeens than expected, or it could end up being a very similar outing to what we see here today. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 100 likes before the stream ends. And we're at 10 on the Dono train, 90 to go to hit the goal. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 0 with 3 base on balls. Big dumper, Cal Raleigh, the best catcher in baseball with the best nickname, #1 in home runs. Trident's up. Let's go, Cal. We'll take singles. We'll take doubles. But we're looking for this right here, home run number 36. Let's go, Cal. And hell, I was blessed to watch him homer twice yesterday at the ballpark. And there's nothing like hearing Cal hit a home run, at the ballpark, with that many fans. Unreal experience. And again, I don't think this is just a one-off year for Cal. Like, Julio had a great rookie year. It hasn't really been that great in the, years after that. This is something where Cal has already been clutch, hitting 29 to 34 home runs, every year, up to this point. But then this year, he might hit 60 to 70. So, but Wu and Castillo pitching gems. Look at that. 5 hits combined, 16 Ks to 2 walks based off Wu and Castillo. Unbelievable. 0-1 pitch, fouled off. Back-to-back fouls by Cal Raleigh. And hopefully we can get at least something here from Cal. 0-2 pitch, fouled off again. 3 consecutive balls fouled off by Cal. No balls and 2 strikes in the bottom of the 7th to Cal Raleigh. Last Mariner to walk in the first 4 plate appearances is Ryan Langerhans in 2011 versus Cleveland. But we don't want to see Cal walk. We want to see Cal hit dingers, baby. Right? Just like, regardless if you're a Yankee fan or a Dodger fan, just watching Judge and Shohei, homer it's a cool thing. They're like the modern day Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays. And now we got a Johnny Bench, modern day now, playing here. And it's so cool to see that he's on the Mariners. It's crazy to have like a Ken Griffey Jr. on the team right now, even though a lot of us thought it was going to be Julio, but not so fast. 0-2 pitch, fouled off again. 4 consecutive foul balls by Cal Raleigh. And again, you get a Cal Raleigh home run ball or foul ball, no one is selling that. They're keeping that for life. 0-2 pitch, high and away. Good eye by Cal. 1 ball and 2 strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Well, they went 6-0 at home. It's just the Pirates aren't very good on the road, and you're playing the Mariners. So some teams are better at home than they are on the road. And, sometimes you match up to a team that's, starting to kind of figure out a groove. 1-2 pitch, fouled off again. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Matson to big dumper. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and down goes Cal Raleigh. 1 away. He might get 1 more plate appearance if we're lucky in the 9th, maybe. But that also depends if we're ahead or not. If we're ahead, then he won't get another plate appearance. But I'm hoping that we can get more than 1 run. I want us to get a minimum of at least 2. 3 is, preferred, but we'll see. Depends on their meltdown of their pitchers. Next up, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks, Randy Arozarena, who's been absolutely electric with 5 homers in the last 5 games. Let's go, Randy. Another guy on the team, that could hit more than 1 homer in a game. First pitch, high and away, 1-0 count. One 0 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. Gained another sub. There we go, baby. 11 subs acquired in the stream. 58 to go to hit 21,000. Let's go, baby. 1-1 pitch. High and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. 2-1 pitch. Low and away with that slider. 86 miles an hour by Matson. 3 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. Mariners with a 1-0 lead. RBI single for Ben Williamson to bring home Polo. And that's where we're at right now. Luis Castillo pitching a gem. Three-one pitch. And that one's fouled off. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count now is full with nobody on and 1 out. 1-0 Mariner lead. Let's go, Randy. That's a good question, Flying Monk. 3-2 pitch. Fouled off right down the middle by Arozarena. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. 1-0 Mariner lead. And again, I hope we can put up a little bit more offense tomorrow on Skeens, but again, we know how good Skeens is. His record isn't very good, but his ERA is. And 3-2 pitch. And Randy strikes out swinging. 2 away. Next up, 1 for 3 with a run in a K. Jorge Polanco. Come on, Polo. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the 7th on FS1 Global Broadcast. 1-0 Mariner lead. First pitch, fouled off, right down the middle, 0-1 count. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 100 likes before the stream ends. We've gained 10, 11 subs in the stream already. We're definitely grinding away, and we would love to be able to have you be a part of the metrics and the stats here on the channel. 0-1 pitch, fouled off. Behind in the count now, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. Yeah, it was crazy. Like after I got home from the game yesterday, and then I flip on the game and I see the Astros are up 18-1 on the Dodgers. We can't catch a break. We were the hottest team in baseball at the beginning of the year, winning 9 consecutive series in a row. And then once we slow down and hit a wall and suck for a month, what happens? The Astros end up being the hottest team in baseball. Like, what are the chances of 2 of the hottest teams in baseball, from the same division? I don't think anyone would have predicted Mariners Astros, but that's where we're at. And we can't really worry about what they do, but it definitely is, eye-opening to see them play so well. Yordan Alvarez has been hurt all year. Pena just got hurt. Bregman's on the Red Sox. Tucker's on the Cubs. So it's pretty much Jose Altuve and a bunch of others. And they're still finding ways to win, which is crazy. 0-2 pitch, fouled off. No balls and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. 0-2 pitch, and Polo grounds out to the pitcher. Little flip, and that is out number 3. End of the 7th inning. Mariners hanging on to a slim 1-0 lead. Hopefully we can get at least one more at the very least to give us a little bit of insurance. And also it'll be interesting to see who we bring in the bullpen, because depending on who we bring in, this could be the difference between us winning or losing. You bring in Carlos Vargas, we're going to lose. You bring in, a solid piece like Brash or Bizardo, then we can win. So we'll see where they go, but I don't want to see, some of the lower end guys. I know, you're trying to rest guys and you're saving guys maybe for Skeens tomorrow. But again, you want to make sure you're taking care of the job in front of you and not looking to next game. And hopefully we can see Brash or Bizardo here. And Bizardo is probably the most improved bullpen pitcher the Mariners have had in the last 15 years. He used to be one of the worst last year with Taylor Saucedo no longer on the team, the lefty, right? And Bizardo has got the 3rd most innings pitched in the American League, and he's very good now. He's number 2 behind Brash on the team, even ahead of Gabe Spire, believe it or not. So as far as consistency and trust right now. So we'll see where we go here in the top of the 8th. And it looks like they're going to go with the smart decision sent Dan Wilson a text, and we're going Matt Brash. Let's go. Got to go with your best guy. And Matt Brash single-handedly, will help your team win 5 to 10 extra wins every season, if not more. He's that good. He hasn't fucked up all year, not even once. He gave up a home run in one outing, but it didn't make us lose. So again, and that was the only thing that he gave up. His ERA is like 0.49, but it was 0 up until like his last outing. So again, think about how deep we are into the season. Even Andres Munoz had an ERA of 0 after 50 games, or at that point. So again, our bullpen has key pieces that could be very, very good. It's all about being consistent. And we're still going to need to be buyers at the deadline. We're going to have to grab 2 or 3 more guys to fill in the gaps from the shitty guys, like the Snyders, the Pops, the Langominas, the Vargases that aren't trustworthy. All right, Brash, first pitch. And Key Brian Hayes takes a strike looking on the line, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Brash to Hayes. Let's go, Matt. 1-1 pitch, takes a strike looking in the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Brash to Hayes. Let's go. He's not only the best bullpen pitcher on the Mariners, he's one of the best in the entire MLB. Like if Brash was on the fucking Dodgers or Yankees or Tigers or Cubs, you would know it, And down he goes. There we go. 1 away. Down goes Hayes. Next up is 0 for 2, Tommy Pham. Let's go, Brash. Wheel and deal, baby. First pitch from Brash to Pham. High and inside with the sinker. 1-0 count. Pham in the box. Matt Brash on the mound. And again, if Brash wasn't hurt with the Tommy John last year, we would have made the playoffs last year 100%, because he would have helped us win 5 to 10 additional games. And, when we didn't make the playoffs, we only missed it by usually 1 to 3 games. So, but also remember, we went 20 years plus without making the playoffs until Cal got us in with the walk-off against the Athletics in 2022. So, we're definitely turning a corner based on consistency moving forward. 1-1 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Brash to Pham. Two-one pitch, fouls that one off high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Brash to Pham. 2-2 pitch. High and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the 8th, 1-0 Mariner lead. And hopefully we can end up getting the dub. 3-2 pitch. Fouled off right down the middle. Count still full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here in the top of the 8th with 1 out. Help us get to 100 likes before the stream ends. And we're still looking for our next dono on our dono train. We're still hovering at 10. We got 90 to go. 3-2 pitch, and that is a rare walk for Matt Brash. All right, Tommy Pham to first, and now we need a double play. Slow dribbler right up the middle to J.P. Crawford, throw to first, and then we get out of this inning. Next up is Joey Bart. 0 for 2 with a K. First pitch, high and away, 1-0 count. Come on, Brash, settle down. Get him to bite on one of these bad pitches, and hopefully we get a double play right up the middle to end it. Chris in the building. What's good, bud? Double play, baby. We need it. And Bart is a guy that, could end up hitting into the double play. Like, there's a pretty good possibility here. Top of the 8th. 1-0 Seattle lead. Runner at first. 1 out. FS1 Global Broadcast. We won yesterday on the 4th of July. I was there, 6-0. 2 home runs by Cal, 1 by Randy, 1 by Dylan Moore, out of all people, who's been on a fucking epic slump. Nice to see him get off the schneid. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking on the line. Great pitch by Brash. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first and 1 out, 1-0, Seattle lead. Give me the double play. Let's go, baby. Come on, Brash. It's crazy to think that Brash, has gone, almost half of the season without fucking up once. When's the last time you've had a relief pitcher on your favorite team or any team that you've heard of that hasn't fucked up once, almost halfway through the season? That's some really epic stuff that Brash has got. 1-1 pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside, paints the quarter beautifully. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. Come on, baby. I mean, if we have to take back-to-back punch-outs if we don't get the double play, I'm down with that too. But obviously a double play will just end it here, which would be great. But I wouldn't mind getting a couple Ks for Brash's strikeout total for the year. 1-2 pitch in play. Fielder's choice, and the runner is out. Pham is out at second, but we had no time for the throw at first. 2 away. All right, here we go. 1 more out, and we get out of this. Bro, you have no idea. It was fucking unreal. And then, me and my best friend, we don't own any Cal jerseys. We got like Ken Griffey Jr.'s and Julio's. And again, I, had a hard time finding, our size, but luckily we ended up going to the secondary store in the stadium. And luckily on one small rack out of like 4 City Connect, Cal jerseys, I don't know how, they, had 2 extra larges and we both got them, and Cal hits 2 home runs. But in the main store in the stadium, where there was hundreds of people in there, I went through a rack of like maybe 20, and there wasn't one jersey above a large. So we were a little disappointed when we first got to that main store, but we went to the secondary store like on the mid-level, and we ended up getting lucky there. And on top of that, he ended up getting a Mitch Garver game-used autograph ball. And Kiner Falefa grounds out to second, tap the bag, and that is out number 3. There we go. Great job. That's what I'm talking about, baby. We didn't get the double play, and we didn't get the punch outs, but Brash does it again. Nice job, Matt. You're awesome. Yeah, but it's kind of a tradition that we go on the 4th of July. We went last year as well when we played the Orioles, who were a playoff team, and we beat them. So we're definitely keeping that tradition going. All right, Brash, you the man, baby. Go to the bottom of the 8th and see if we can get 1 more run, at minimum. But 2 more would make me feel great, but 1 would make me feel a little bit better. You just never know what could possibly happen at the end, Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 3 with a K, and his first at bat, you won't believe it, he actually bunted. I've been griping about bunting for the Mariners forever, but he bunts to third, and guess what? He was safe. If you bunt correctly, right, you can get on base 80% of the time because no defense in MLB coaches defense for bunts. And again, I wish we would get more bunts a game. Like, if we could be a team that bunts 1 to 4 times a game, I would be in heaven. Batting second, unless they have someone come in and pinch hit. I don't think it'll be Dominic Canzone because we had, Donovan Solano. So I think it'll be Solano because he obviously had Solano pinched hit for Canzone after that. So we're going to go Luke Raley, Dominic Canzone, and then after Dominic Canzone, Ben Williamson, who so far right now is the hero who got the RBI single and brought home Polanco from second to give us the 1-0 lead. So 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for the Mariners, no runs, 2 hits, no errors by the Pirates, and both hits are by the leadoff hitter, Spencer Horwitz. So, we should win this game. And then we got, obviously, George Kirby versus Paul Skeens tomorrow, and that should be a pitcher's duel, and hopefully Kirby will match Skeens' intensity and location, so that way that Kirby doesn't have one of those bad starts and we're down like 3-0 early and we have to have the bats come hot and heavy early, but we'll see. Reflect, I appreciate you. First pitch from Santana to Luke Raley. Fouls it off right down the middle, 0-1 count. Let's go, Luke. Yeah, I don't know. I think some people don't realize like how difficult it is to do a baseball stream when you're doing live play-by-play and color, and you're producing the show all on the fly, watching multiple screens and communicating with the chat. I mean, it's not one of those things that just anybody can do. That is facts. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike from Santana to Luke Raley. Reflect in the building. What's good? How was your walk? How's the weather up in Washington right now? Weather's pretty good in Oregon. Mid-70s. 1-1 pitch. And Raley grounds out to first and 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1. He pinched hit for Dominic Canzone. Let's see if he can get a hit on his second at-bat. 0 for 1, Donovan Solano. Let's go, Don. First pitch, low and away, 1-0 count. Appreciate you, Reflect. Reflect with a tenner. Now we're at 20, 80 to go. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. But I didn't get a chance to get any foul balls. None were close enough for me to scrap for one. Hot dog from heaven. We got close, but the wind blew the hot dogs a section over from where we were. But they initially were dropping in our section, and a big gust of wind took the hot dogs away from us, which was a damn shame. We were hungry. But the cool thing is, after we got these Cal Raleigh authentic jerseys, as a free gift, he ended up getting a game-used autograph ball for Mitch Garver, which is worth about $50, which is pretty cool. He's never gotten a ball in like 50 games between the Dodgers and the Mariners. And no, it wasn't a home run ball. No, it wasn't a foul ball or a ball thrown up into the crowd by JP as Solano flies out to right, 2 away. But it will hold him over now that he actually got a game-used ball, and it's autographed by Garver. And Garver actually has a nice auto. You could read Mitch Garver, and he put his number on there as well. So I know that he was happy about that. We got our Cal jerseys. We got the 4th of July trucker hat. That was a sweet giveaway, just like the hat that I'm wearing that I got last 4th of July versus the Orioles. And hopefully we can add on a little bit more here with 2 away. First pitch from Santana to Williamson, fouled off, 0-1 count. Let me know what you want to do for any photos, and I got you. Oh, yeah, Cal Raleigh, baby. Me and my best friend, like I said, we went to the team store in the stadium, went through a rack of like 15 to 20, and they had smalls, mediums, larges, schmediums, just a bunch of small sizes, none extra large or higher. So we got disappointed, but then we went to the other team store, which is just like a small booth, and then a very small rack in the corner, they had 4 Cal jerseys, and we thought, no way in hell they're going to be extra large. And lo and behold, 2 out of the 4 jerseys were extra large. We bought them, and then Cal Raleigh ended up hitting 2 home runs in that game. Coincidence? I think so. 1-1 pitch, takes a strike looking. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Santana to Williamson. 1-2 pitch, and Williamson flies out to right, and we are unable to be able to get any more. But hell, if we end up winning 1-0, I did mention this at the beginning of the stream, that if it ends up being 1-0, 2-1, and it's low scoring, even though that you probably would predict that this would be the score tomorrow, possibly with like Skeens and Kirby, if both pitched well. We don't know if that will happen or not, but definitely not the same 6-0 game, that we had with Cal hitting 2 home runs and hitting the, obviously one of the hardest hit, baseballs in his career. It was 3 rows away from leaving the park. The double-decker in the first inning went so far, so loud, right? Then we saw Randy hit a home run, 5 in 5 games, but none today. And then Dylan Moore, out of all people, and it was funny too, because I was sitting next to, a nice family there, and I was like, man, we're going to get Dylan off the schneid, and then lo and behold, he hits a fucking home run. And if anyone needed a home run desperately, it was Dylan Moore. He was like 0 for a billion, and I would have been happy if he would have got a fucking single, let alone, he got the home run. So that was cool, but definitely a fun experience all the way through, and definitely can't wait to go back to Seattle again. All right, let's go to the top of the 9th, and let's see their last opportunity here. Leading off with both of the hits of the day for the Pirates, first baseman Spencer Horwitz. Batting second, DHing Andrew McCutchen, a staple of the Pirates. And batting third, right fielder Brian Reynolds. And they're going to bring in Andres Munoz, and hopefully that will help solidify the victory for Luis Castillo so he can improve to 5-5. Let's go, baby. Nice job by Matt Brash again, doing a great job as he does always. We got to get Andres Munoz up here. Let's go. $80 likes. There we go. 20 more to go. I appreciate you too, man. Yeah, I saw that highlight as well. Third row from leaving the stadium. I mean, it was insane. First pitch from Munoz to Horwitz, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. And that's when you know when Munoz is on, when he ends up throwing, a first pitch strike and, he's not giving up back-to-back hits, or he's not walking the first 2 or 3 guys, or plunking the first couple guys, or throwing pitches in the dirt that go behind the catcher. So far, so good here early with Munoz. 0-1 pitch, takes another strike looking, perfect by Munoz. No balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 pitch. And got him. Striking out, swinging. This is the Munoz that we all love and hope to see. He blew the save last time that we saw him, right? And that's unfortunate. It's going to happen a couple times. But remember, Munoz had an ERA of 0 after 50 games, about a third of the way through the season. So he is going to get roughed up, once in a while. But 90% of the time, he's going to be lights out. And what a way. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. See ya. Next up, Andrew McCutchen. 4 pitches and 4 strikes. Takes a strike looking. He is on, just like Luis Castillo was today. They're feeding off the 4th of July momentum. Baby. Anna in the building. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 5 straight strikes for Munoz. And I'm going to be real. I don't think I've seen Munoz throw 5 strikes in a row in a long fucking time. I mean, it's been a long time. 0-2 pitch. Oh, my. Big swing and a miss. 6 pitches, 6 strikes, 2 strikeouts. Got him. We're about to win 1-0, baby. Oh, my. What if Munoz does it again? 9 pitches, 9 strikes, and 3 strikeouts. I mean, if we can have the perfect, immaculate inning, that would be awesome to add to his repertoire. Let's go. Top of the 9th, 2 outs. Next up is Brian Reynolds. Let's go. 3 pitches and 3 strikes to Horwitz, who has the only 2 hits. See ya. 3 pitches to McCutchen, 3 strikes. See ya. Now we're down to the potentially the last batter. Can we get 3 more strikes and then we can end this game? That would be an amazing ending. Oh my! Strike down the middle. He is on. Woo! 7 straight pitches for strikes for Luis Castillo. Oh my! 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, and the first ball. Wow. High and away, misses the plate by 2 feet. But that was crazy. Oh my. 7 straight strikes for Andres Munoz. I don't think I've ever seen that many in a row from him, being honest. And I've been watching games for a long time. 1-1 pitch, takes a strike looking on the corner. Ooh my. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. We need 1 more strike. And it would be great if it ended up being swinging and the game is over. But we'll take a strike looking too. Let's go. 1-2 pitch in play. And Reynolds flies out to left. And that is it, baby. Final score, Seattle Mariners 1, Pittsburgh Pirates 0. Woo! That was awesome. Only 1 ball from Andres Munoz in that entire inning. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And I've watched a lot of Munoz. That might be a first in his career. Oh my. Let's go. Throw some bones my way, baby. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. We're at 30. 70 to go to hit the goal. Let's go. What an outing. And that is the good Munoz, and that definitely makes up for that blown save that he did on his last start. Nice job, Munoz, baby. Wow, what a ball game. What do you want to do photo-wise? Do you want to do Munoz? Do you want to do Big Ben for the RBI? You let me know. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, it looked like it. I mean, it was six pitches and 6 strikes, and then had 7, but then ended up throwing the 1 ball. But I mean, when's the last time that we've seen Munoz throw 1 ball and 9 strikes? Or actually close to that number. Obviously, the last out was a pop out, but that was fucking crazy finish there. And again, I know for people that love offense and home runs, this wasn't really the most ideal game. This was the J.P. Crawford basketball jersey giveaway. It wasn't like the game that I went to where we had 4 home runs and we won 6-0, 2 by Cal, 1 by Randy, 1 by Dylan. But again, you're not going to win the same type of way every game. Some games are going to be high scoring and it's going to be a home run fest with a bunch of ribbies as well. Other games, it's going to be hard and you're going to have to grind it out. It might be a little ugly, but you find a way to win. But, Munoz did great. Brash did great. Castillo was fantastic, which we don't say that often. Big Ben had the 1 RBI, to get Polo to come home. And yeah, I mean, obviously we would love to be able to win 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, but it is what it is. So. I got you. Appreciate you very much. Yeah, and I'm kind of stoked that my buddy got the Mitch Garver game used autograph ball as like a freebie. The employee didn't have to do that, and even though it's Mitch Garver, still, it's like a $50 ball for free. But I know he's been wanting a ball so bad, from going to like 50 games, Dodgers and Mariners, because he used to live in LA for a part of his life, and he's seen me go to like 9 games and get 3 balls. So I know there's a little urgency there. He knows that I'm gonna have a good chance, but I'm glad that that'll at least hold him over for a while. And it would have been cool if it was just game used, but on top of that, having the Garb auto, pretty sweet. All right, let's get some photos up here for Reflect. Let's go, baby. And it's Polo's birthday today. So ending up coming home on his birthday. Pretty sweet. Happy birthday, Polo. 253 average, 12 homers, 39 ribbies. I see you, Polo. A great job by Luis Castillo. If he doesn't pitch as well as he did, we don't win. Bottom line. And also, if we bring in a shitty bullpen guys like Vargas, we would have lost this game more than likely as well. So, making the right decision, to go with the right guys in the pen after Castillo. And also Castillo having a low pitch count and going a little bit longer and going 7 innings, that definitely helped as well. A nice, nice game by Munoz and Castillo in the same matchup. They were both fucking electric. Facts. And then we got Skeens and Kirby on the bump tomorrow at 1:10 Pacific. So hopefully you guys can come through and make it. It's going to be hopefully a pitcher's duel, and hopefully Kirby can match Skeens. And for whatever reason, if they both get beat up a little bit, then maybe we can get those hits and home runs where we might actually get like a 4-3 game instead of like a 1-0, 2-1 game, kind of similar to this today. Baby Munoz. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your help. Big Ben was the hero, that's for sure. Nice job by Ben. Appreciate you too. Hope everyone had a very fun 4th of July. Anything else I can bring up for you? Oh, nice. A-Dog with a tenner. Anything that you want to be able to see? A-Dog was going to do $10 per homer and was going to get people to try to match. But unfortunately, we didn't hit any homers. But he's still going to support the brand and support the channel for me and Paisley. And that is very appreciative. Appreciate you. A-Dog. And A-Dog even sent me $10 for beer yesterday, which was very kind. You know, we usually get 1 or 2 people, you know, when I go to the game to, you know, send me, you know, some like Venmo or Cash App for food or beer. And thank you so much for that. Yeah, almost an immaculate inning for Munoz. So close. I appreciate that, man. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. You know, I try to make, you know, baseball fun and entertaining. You know, for some people, you know, it's kind of one of those niche sports like, you know, the NBA, the NHL, the MLB, and NASCAR. It's not going to be for everyone. You know, obviously, same thing with like wrestling. You know, obviously, NFL and college football is probably the easiest for most people to get into. But I do appreciate that. And again, we're going to show love, you know, to even the opponents and no bias. You know, we call a spade, and you know, I appreciate that. It's always great to be able to get fans of every team to come through. And I appreciate you guys very much. We gained 11 or 12 subs today just in the stream alone, and we're getting very close of hitting our goal of 21,000 subs. So that's pretty exciting. We we've hit 15 today. Wow. 15 subs just today. Normally we're going to be hitting like 5 to 10 a day, but today a good number there. Now only 54 to go to hit 21,000. Well, A-Dog, you know, obviously you'll know who he is when he comes in. And, you know, again, sometimes I'm not, you know, some people, you know, if they end up donating and, you know, if I end up getting something from like Venmo or Cash App, some people don't want their government name, you know, on the stream. Sometimes you guys have your little, you know, handles and whatnot. So I figured we will just go with the A-Dog. I mean, I have in the past, you know, back in the day, you know, but I haven't done an AEW like Dynamite or, you know, pay-per-view in a while, but I have done AEW in the past. I typically do WWE, like the PLEs once a month. I do a little bit of everything. And then once in a while, if the Mariners are off, sometimes Monday Night Raw, but we do MLB for Mariners and then sometimes other matchups depending on, you know, what's going on. MLB, you know, NBA, NFL, college football, you know, NHL, NASCAR, college hoops. We've done UFC before. I mean, we really do everything here. It's like one of the only channels that's on YouTube that does like pretty much anything and everything. You know, again, you have to be able to, you know, have a good voice. You have to be smart. You have to know what you're talking about. You have to do a lot of reading and film study. But, you know, that's just something that I enjoy that I would be doing anyway. So I appreciate every single one of y'all very, very much. Anything that you want to be able to see photo-wise? Yeah, it's you. I got, because again, there's a couple people that are similar, you know, with what it was, and I got fooled. I got bamboozled. I thought it was another individual, but it is you. When you get so many different people coming through, I got to be able to remember who is who, especially when they're not using their real name on the stream with their handle. Anything that you want to be able to see before we go? There's quite a few people that have similar first name, last names, and whatnot. So, but anything you want to be able to see, Flying Monk, before we go? All right. Well, I appreciate you very, very much. And again, what a victory. It wasn't really necessarily what we thought we were going to get. Almost had that immaculate inning there by Andres Munoz. So shout out to Flying Monk for getting us to that next $10 dono after Reflect with a couple of his $10 donos. And obviously A-Dog got us our first, starting it off with the stream as well. So nice win for Luis Castillo, saved by Munoz as well. 1-0 final. And then again, I'll be live tomorrow at 1:10 Pacific. Skeens and George Kirby on the mound. So hopefully you guys can come through. And I appreciate you very, very much. And like I said, when we go in tomorrow, if there's something that you want to be able to see, just let me know. And I got you. Appreciate you very, very much. And I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. And I got one question for you. Well, you know, talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Final score, Seattle Mariners 1, Pittsburgh Pirates 0. Tridents up. Go Mariners. And I'm out. Gang.